Something else I meant to talk about today, and I'm not going to get into the incident. I didn't watch the game, but it's worthy of note, and so I'm going to discuss it. So Matt Calvert last night decided to cross-check Tom Kuhnhackl. What are sticks made out of these days? There's a break right near the top of the stick, and I've been seeing this a lot. Used to be they all broke right near the blade. Now they're breaking near the blade and they're breaking at the top of the stick too. Like, they're paying $300 for these sticks. These are not cheap sticks, and yet they break constantly. Constantly. So when people say Matt Calvert broke his stick on Tom Kuhnhackl, I go, It may have already had a crack in it. It may have just been a piece of crap. They seem to all be pieces of crap today. I certainly watched sticks get broke today in the Ottawa-Boston game where I was like, wait, that broke the stick? That's it? So, to me, the reason he's having a hearing with the NHL is not because he broke his stick on Tom Kuhnhackl. He's having a hearing because he broke his stick on Tom Kuhnhackl and then went around and pushed him over. It's sort of like the Marchand deal when he crotched the guy before the playoffs. It's not that he crotched Dotchin. It's that he went back and taunted him after. That I went, yeah, you don't do that. And that looked like what Calvert was doing to Kuhnhackl. The game's out of hand. Columbus is losing. They're clearly frustrated. And it boils over for Calvert. I watched a lot of Columbus games this year. I don't remember Calvert being a dirty player or throwing a lot of cheap hits or anything like that. I really don't. He was clearly pissed off. Either Kuhnhackl said something or there's something happened during that game. And again, I didn't watch the game, so you guys can fill in the blanks a little bit if you want. Calvert doesn't seem like the kind of guy who just boils over for no reason, and Kuhnhackl seems like a rather odd one to lose it on. But for Calvert, he may get suspended. It's an easy suspension for the NHL. This is what drives me nuts about suspensions and fines at this time of year. If it's a third line guy or not a key guy for a team, they'll go, yep, we'll discipline him. If it's a big time, if it's Crosby, if that was Malkin or Crosby that did that, there isn't even a hearing in all likelihood. And I say that as a guy who's not biased one way or the other in this. It's something I've noticed with the NHL that star players get away with a lot more than the other players. So Calvert, like in for instance, if it was Atkinson that did it, I don't know if Atkinson's getting a hearing either. And if there was a hearing, he's not going to get a suspension. Calvert, he may get a game. It wasn't a smart move by Calvert, and I would imagine he knew that before he was off the ice. I'd imagine he'd cool down enough to go, oh, geez, that looked bad. And for Calvert, again, I respect him as a player. I think he's managed to carve a niche out for himself in the NHL. He's a solid player. I don't have a problem with him. We'll see how this works out. We'll see how this shakes out for him. And we'll see how it goes for Columbus, because they got humbled pretty badly in games 1 and 2, and this is after losing 6 out of 7 coming into the playoffs. So technically they've lost 8 out of 9 now. This is a team that's just reeling. So now they have game 3. They got to pump the brakes on what Pittsburgh's been doing. They need to be able to push back without pushing back and taking penalties doing so, and they may have to do it without Calvert. Working in Columbus's favor, they've got tremendous depth. They've been able to roll 4 lines all year. They just don't have the star power of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And, of course, then we'll get into the question, too, would Columbus have done better with a weaker opponent in the first round? I don't know. I really don't. I look at scores like Pittsburgh's putting up and I go, maybe these guys overachieved during the regular season and maybe they're good, but they're not at that level. And maybe they would have gone the same way as Minnesota has against St. Louis. The underdogs in the NHL now are no longer what underdogs used to be. There's very little to choose between 1st and 8th in the West or the East. So this is part of the reason why I didn't buy into the whole, oh, the playoff seeding isn't fair. 1 versus 8 is not what 1 versus 8 used to be. And even if you went back to an old system of 1 versus 16, you're still going to see very little to choose between 1 versus 16. Parity and the salary cap have made it that way. And it's not a bad thing if you're a fan of any of those 16 teams. It means that dynasties are gone as we know them. Because there's so little to choose between teams, there's going to be some luck on one side or the other, and things are not going to work out for others. And in Columbus right now, it's how they play this. If Calvert gets suspended, and he won't get more than a game, I can't see it being more than a game. Does Columbus rally around it? Or is it just another sign that they're done? Columbus has the players. They have the blue line. They can push back against Pittsburgh. But Pittsburgh just has so many weapons. Tons and tons of weapons. And Pittsburgh and Washington, and I'm watching Washington Toronto right now, Pittsburgh and Washington in my eyes are on a collision course. Again. And I just did a video on choking away 3-1 and 3-0 series leads, and it feels like we're going to see that matchup again. So we'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does Calvert get games for it? I'm gonna look up the incident on YouTube here, and I'll leave it in the in the description. So don't get all mad and say, "Oh, you didn't show the incident." I'll leave the incident in the description, so you can click on the link there. Again, I'm not doing it in real time like I have with other incidents because I wasn't watching that game last night. So I'm not gonna load everything up, and it's the next day. So just let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through, and don't worry, the Bruins gear is gonna go. I'm just still kind of angry, and I'm debating about whether or not I should keep wearing jerseys of teams that I'm cheering for in games, because clearly it's only worked once, and I'm into day 4 of the playoffs. So maybe I should start wearing the jersey of the team I'm not cheering for. Maybe I'm the jinx. Yeah, I think that way. It does happen. It's funny, but it happens. And a lot of hockey fans are superstitious that way. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Calvert suspended a game, suspended 2 games. What do you think? To me, it was just one of those things that the stick, I don't care that it broke. They all break. You sneeze on them, they break right now. It's going around again and pushing them down. That's what looks bad. That's what he's going to get suspended for if he gets suspended. I think it'll be 1 game. Just let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.